What's up, y'all? Welcome to another review by Ryan, and a very happy Wednesday to all of you. It is Wednesday, February 22nd, and I hope you all are doing well wherever you're at in the world at the time you find this reaction. Thank you so much for those of you who watch this reaction for your patience as I currently catch up on all of my reactions due to my trip to Japan. So I have decided after all I'm going to do a double header for Spectre Season 2 for the two that I missed. So this video reaction will be a long one. It will be the Episode 6 and Episode 7 reaction to the second season. Episode 6 is titled Electroshock Pinocchio, and Episode 7 is titled Or You Could Wish Upon a Star. So just a quick recap, back in Episode 5, we did have a return to focus on Rika's journey and where Rika was at, because they have not actually had a chance to really interact or really know much about what she's been up to since the events of the Steel Lady arc in the first season. We did get to see parallel things between both Rika and the landlord that she crashed at until she escaped, and we saw her obviously talk about Kudo and Kodako, and we also heard her talk a lot of shit about Kodako because obviously she completely hates her and cannot stand her for basically taking Kudo away. And then of course we saw the parallel back to Kudo and Kodako when they just missed her after she kind of realized that she had overstayed her welcome. She stayed in one place for too long. And then we got to hear the discussions that they all had as Kodako and Kudo looked off into the sky, and then we got to see back on how Rika was feeling as we progressed into the second stage of this season. So it really was just an introductory episode to prepare us for the rest of the season and to basically bring Rika back on screen, and I thought they did a relatively decent job with that. Rika's a really complex character. She has a lot going on with her personality, and it's a lot that I look forward to kind of appreciating more now that it's very clear that the story writing for this second season is quite a bit better than it was with the first season. I think that we're doing a good job of kind of staying focused on the topic at hand. Again, I personally, as a bias, am a bit sad that the Yuki Onna thing was not going to continue for the entire season, but I'm very anxious to see where we go from this point. Now, what it's starting to shape up with is that maybe learning lessons from the first season is not to use a single story point as the entirety of a season. So it very well may be that we have two more story arcs to go, and that perhaps both of these coming arcs will in one way or another have something to do with Rika. But then again, though, it might not, because she was going away just kind of doing her own thing after everything transpired. And if that's the case, then we might not even focus too much more on her until maybe end season or getting close to the end of the season, which then means that we may have one or two more story arcs to go. So not much more to say about episode 5, since episode 5 was kind of just us recovering from the greatness that was episode 2, 3, and 4. And with that said, I'm just going to go ahead and get episode 6 pulled up. As always, please pay attention to the timestamp in the video and click on whichever part of the video you guys want to see. So it'll be a split second for y'all, and when I come back, we'll start episode 6. All right, guys, and I am back. Again, this is going to be the episode 6 reaction titled Electroshock Pinocchio. I just feel like I'm just saying it wrong. I know I'm not, but it's just messing me up. No, it is Pinocchio. Pinocchio. Yeah, Pinocchio. Interesting. All right, let's go ahead and get this 6 reaction started in 3, 2, 1. Tie. Yep, it's another arc. And it's a talking cat. Oh boy. Oh, damn. Damn, that cat be turning up. Hey! Obviously a spirit of some sort. Oh my god. What the hell? Abake Neko. Ah. Okay, so there we go. Okay. And if I remember correctly, a Bakaneko is just basically a spirit cat? Something like that? Yeah. Oh boy. It's just, guys, it's so hard though. Like, after the Yuki Onna arc, it's just so hard to follow that up. But I guess we'll see how this goes from here. Hey, at least if it's anything like the writing has been so far this season for the other parts of this second season, I'm sure it's going to be fine. Because it's clear they've made a lot of corrections to the writing errors they had in the first season, so I'm sure this will be good. Oh boy. Case of dead fish, that's never good. Shock. Well, the episode is titled Electric Shock, so. You know, we did have an uptick of dead fish the other year, actually, here. I don't think we ever figured that out. Ain't that the damn truth? Damn. Hey, we still don't need dead fish coming up, though, even if that is true. Well, if that's the case, time to call the great goddess of wisdom. Zenta-san's curse. Oh, wow. Of course. Of course. And they couldn't get to the hospital. Yeah. I actually saw several delays with ambulances trying to get places while I was in Japan during my trip, and that was relatively concerning. And so he can't carry over. Damn. Hey, he's running. He is gonna lose some weight. So they genuinely believe that it's his spirit holding over as a curse. Look how Kyoto feels. They hate terrorists, but they need tourism to survive. I'm very interested what lie Kodako is going to spin up about this particular case. Hey, can we talk about the fact that the mayor is keeping up with this athletic, great woman right here? Hey, but even the kindest people can have darkness in their heart. And in this world, that set of logic could actually be true. Uh, and on that note, I'd be exiting stage left. Was that man dead by that point? Yep, he was already gone. So he has possessed the doll. Either he's possessed the doll or he has possessed it with something else. Yeah, which would make sense because that's how that tends to work. Or he was trying to, of course. Yeah. He was trying to bring him back. Huh? She stopped herself. If it hasn't already happened. Since it's already started with the fish. It's such a crazy thought too, but believable in this situation. They're really gonna do this ritual. I hope it works. Though I get the feeling you're gonna need a little more than a ritual if he really did curse this entire town and the atmosphere and the water and everything. Why did I get happy for just a moment? Damn, I got happy for a moment. I thought my girl Yuki was back. I know, not the same. It's just for a split second. Bro, he just like getting wasted. Dang. At least you maintain that. Well, at least that's set up. A whole lot. Ain't no way in hell. That it's possessed. Dang, he even knew the exact time. And that's how he's able to know. Which means they're definitely gonna have to summon Kotoko for sure. And that's when I just walk away. I'm not even sticking around to see how this ends. Dang. Yep, it literally is his doll. He done cursed this damn town. I don't think that's a good idea. Oaken. Oh, and that's what he electric. Dang. That was a close one. Yeah, our crab is definitely out for the count, though. Well, I mean, we understood so little about the adversary that we was up against, let alone this doll, now that we know that it is definitely implanted with the spirit. Okay, well, at least it's not dead and gone. Cause I was worried. I said, damn, you got zapped. Dang. Again, trauma when someone that you really care about dies like that. It can really be that way, though. But we still don't 100% know if that truly is the case or not, or if we're just misunderstanding all of this. Yep. 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 Our goddess. Goddess of wisdom. Yeah, a little more complicated than that. Yeah, because once she shows up, she's pretty much able to resolve everything and knows the exact right yokai to talk to. Stop with the visions. I mean, she's actually human, so you won't have to worry. Don't worry. Look, she like, I done been here forever. I done seen so much now. I don't even care no more. She's like, oh, she is human. Well, look at that. A whole last immortal at your service. Yeah. So you chose her because of her age too. You're trifling. You're gonna be offended. Like, and it is easy for her. It's just always wild. She's gonna spin up a lie that I'm gonna fall for again, and it's gonna work. Lies are her power, along with manipulation. Absolutely did mention that. Even though I'm sure she already has a relatively good idea based on the explanation. Okay, a very interesting start to this particular arc for sure. Okay. So, this is going to be an interesting arc, and again, it is another story. So, yeah, no Rika, no Kudo and Kodako until obviously the very end when they were called by the Bakineko, which is the spirit cat that is present with Tai. But it's clear that this arc is going to be based on more of a vendetta, vengeance related matter. What was the name already? Goodness, sitting here been just typing small notes here and there. So Zenta, his grandson, unfortunately succumbed to injuries due to tourists that were in the area. And it looks like he was someone who, did not care much for tourists in their town, but felt that basically it looks like he just had a vendetta against everybody, against the tourists that took his grandson, against the town who allowed tourists to kind of take over and they catered to them. There was a number of circumstances going on there, and so he made this doll that he then implanted a soul with. That after he passed away, this would come to haunt the town, haunt the sea, haunt everything that was present. And again, we've seen this play out in a number of scenarios in different type of animes and non-animated productions that happen. But I do believe that it might be a little premature for us to fully assume what it might be, whether it could be a vendetta, whether some other yokai actually took over that had less than desirable motives and just kind of warped his mindset to the way that it did prior to his demise. It could be any number of things, and of course with Kyokou present, I'm very interested to see what's going to end up coming out of this investigation. The fact that the cat, of course, is it loves booze and likes to be lazy, that's so cat-like. So, I was just sitting there like, oh my goodness, and then it's very amusing that's when he gets off. No milk, no nothing, no water, just booze, absolute booze, and that he paired himself up with the older lady Tai, who is now our one of our two main characters for this particular arc. So I think it's an interesting pairing and it's an interesting set of circumstances, and I am interested in seeing how this goes. Now, as far as connection is concerned, so like I said, because this has had several different stories that have been told this season. And again, between how the first episode started off this season and then how the first episode of our first official arc started off with Yuki Onna, I'm going to talk about, connection. And as far as the connection is concerned, I think that this is a fine start to this arc. Obviously, I'm not as intrigued, I'm not as bought in as I was with the Yuki Onna arc, and again, that's just very unfair to any other arc that plays out that doesn't have to deal with Rika for the rest of this season. But I think that this is a straightforward enough story point to go off of, and since they said that they're going to pretty much resolve it that same night, I'm almost wondering if this arc is going to be wrapped up in 2 episodes, which would be interesting. So, we had the introductory episode, which was episode 1, episode 2 to 4 covered the Yuki Onna arc. We had 1 episode dedicated to looking for Rika, and now we've started this. So, since it's going to be episodic and it's going to be based on individual stories, this can work and does work, being that this is technically what her job as the goddess of wisdom, as the goddess of all the yokai, the spirits, all the supernatural elements that are here, that's her job. That makes complete sense that this is the flow that something like this would go. But, it does come down to, if we only get, let's say we wrap this up next episode and we go back to Rika and then we go into another side story and then we go to the end, my hope is that it doesn't try to do too much, being that we only have 12 to 13 episodes this season. But either way, very interested. We have a talking spirit cat, we have an older elderly lady who is very physically fit, and we have a guy who has a vengeance and a vendetta, allegedly, because his grandson was killed by tourists that he did not like being in his town, and that is where we base this arc off of. So, very interesting start here, and I guess we'll just see how the next episode plays out, and if we actually are going to wrap this up in the next episode at night, which honestly I think that it should go at least 2 more episodes, given how I'm assuming things have been shaping up and being directed for this particular season. So that's all I got for episode 6. I'm going to go ahead and get episode 7 started up. Again, brief moment in video for you, and I'll be right back and we'll get that reaction started. Alright guys, I am back, got the episode 7 pulled up, and we're ready to get started. So again, Kudo and Kotoko have now arrived at Tai and our cat's humble abode, and we're going to now discuss more details about the situation going on in the town with the possessed dog, and pretty much where we go from here. So the title of this 7th episode is Or You Could Wish Upon a Star. So let's go ahead and get this started in 3, 2, 1. Hey, you make it a habit to be as active as you are, so. Yeah, you have to have a very deep emotional connection. Which is why I believe there's another being or entity that's in play here. See? See, and that's what I'm saying, because she wouldn't just be reintroduced unless she may have something to do here. So Rika may very well have something to do with this. But if that's the case, then this case will end up lasting the rest of the season. We'll see. Mmm. Yep. Old meteorite. So yeah, it's funny. All paths ultimately end up leading back to Rika. So, in one way or another. Well, with the exception of the Yukiona situation. So, yeah. I still want my Yukiona spinoff. Just FY. That's all I want. Mm. And he got hit? Oh no, the tree got hit. I was about to say, damn, did he get struck by lightning? See. And so that was the power from the meteorite. But see, that would end up leading to all the other events. So there you go. So it was some other. Yeah. Or maybe he just had an unnecessary attachment because of what she just said, and there wasn't any real power in it at all, other than just being a meteorite. I actually need to reread the story. I've read the story once before. Yeah, not when it's influenced by something like that. Homie about to disappear. it comes down to what that wish or wishes actually was. Hey, chill. Chill on my girl name. However, I see it. She's a goddess of wisdom. Not, yeah. Yeah, was it not a goddess of strength? Who said Kudo was participating? And he'll probably die a few times in the process. He's like, yeah. He still won't. Kudo like, I'm about sick of this. Damn. Hey, if I was him, I'd be like, bet, have fun. This just seems way too damn simple. Yo, let's not burn down the whole damn place while we're at it, though. That's because it seems almost too simple. I guess we'll see how it plays out, though. But again, we are assuming that revenge was truly the thing. Which is why I think this is a much bigger situation, and we all do, in a way. Yeah, so. Hmm. Right, when we clearly know he was dissatisfied. But it comes down to what was he thinking when he bought that doll alive? Yeah. And I wonder if you know what that is. Alright, so we know that this entire idea and the circumstances behind this doll are just too simple and too dull, in theory. This does feel like this is going to be resolved this episode, though. That is the absolute truth. She evil as hell when she get mad. She actually told him, try not. Which translates to only 2 or 3 times. Yeah, you're about to witness something here. Something serious in a moment. He might die immediately upon the doll showing. Alright. So in that case, who is the said person? Damn. Boy, don't die already. Damn. We just told you not to die. Hey, in fairness, compared to his normal deaths, that was actually the most tame. Okay, so it's tied to all of them, and not just one in particular. Which would make more sense if it's just targeting the college kids and not so much. Yeah, and not just the whole town. Oh, but so he passed it all. Okay. Hmm. Also, I almost got myself trapped, but it's possible. We were just talking about what might be a lie and what's true. That could be another situation here. She doesn't care at all. Bruh, that's fucking Kodako for you. Just savage as hell. Bro, you just over here getting fried constantly. Alright, so will it work? Ah, so they just track the arm, and so much as just exploding him, especially since we now know that killing it would be killing everybody. That's what we're gonna wrap it up. We're just gonna bury it and just walk away. Let's throw some concrete on it. Okay. Oh shit, he cursed tied to. Nothing. What the hell? Ah. So it was incomplete because we did say, yeah. We did say it was impossible for him to truly create a true to life doll with the curse fully intact. So it was just all pointless. Yo, what if they destroy that doll and people die anyway? Plot twist! Oh. And she got more. So it really was just petty, unjustified. See, maybe this was a situation of me trying to think this would be a lot more complex than it actually ended up being. He still doesn't acknowledge you, my girl. This all feels like it just went too damn easy. But I guess that's how straightforward this case was, since the curse never activated. Lost. Right. Yeah. Okay, so it wasn't on purpose. Yeah. Hmm. I'm confident he is completely uninterested. All right. So, not too much to actually really say other than what has been explained. This is a pretty self-explanatory two-part arc in which at the end of the day, Zenta might have had a lot of resentment and rage against these college students who killed his grandson. He might have had the resentment against the people of the town, including Ty, who seemed to, pretty much not so much happy, because clearly she wasn't happy. She just said that she lost, she lost her husband, and she lost these people who were very important to her. It's not so much that she was happy, it's just that she had resolved herself, she had steeled herself to these type of situations that were happening, and he pretty much just couldn't understand or get it, because he was just distraught in the loss of his grandson. So he creates this doll, and I know that there'll be quite a few people that'll be like, it takes a lot of experience and a lot of practice to be able to do something like getting a doll like that alive, but it really should not have been possible in his set of circumstances. But again, in an environment where we have these yokai and spirits who are all over the place, I always say that anything is possible on a show like this. And in that type of situation, it's very possible that someone's grief could go into creating something like that. Now, as we did come to learn, the curse had actually not activated. The doll had indeed woke up, but the curse itself fully didn't activate, because if it had, scraping off the names, there would have been some pretty significant pain both to Ty and to everyone else. Now, as was said, there were certain bits and pieces that she fed to Ty that were not entirely truthful, but they were not done in the intentions or the ways that she normally does. Again, y'all saw when she started really going into the deep story part, you see that I get quiet and I start paying attention, like half of it's going to actually be real. And I had to remember this time, this girl has a complete profession online to be able to manipulate things in a way in order to give comfort back to others, or to give people a purpose in their life, or at least in Ty's case, a purpose in their limited life that is left. So at least in this case, it wasn't done with any, aggressive intent. Like, I know the community was still very upset with how the whole Yuki situation was handled, and how basically she put Muro on the spot. She not so much put Muro on the spot, but she did. She put him in a really in a place that he was really starting to feel bad, and then Yuki Onna was just getting really defensive and really angry because even against her goddess, she just could not stand the way that Kotoko was just being with the things that she was saying. So unlike in that situation, this did feel a little more calmer, a little more, not so much lighthearted, but just less aggressive than that situation was. Now, this was only a two-part or story point. So, and I do believe now that we know that this story wasn't really overly complex and it had a relatively straightforward and anticlimactic conclusion. I'm very happy actually that it was only two-part. We also learned that it did not have anything to do with Rika whatsoever. So again, this was a situation of we might have been led to believe that this was going to end up being a more complex case than it ever actually ended up being at all. And so this I want to feed back into giving a personal opinion. So again, I'm very conservative with these type of reactions because I'm scared that if I start going too much in one direction or another, it's going to start having rate bombing on my videos. But I do want to admit, I did not particularly like this as much as I liked the first part of the season. Definitely. But at the end of the day, though, I will still say that this was to the point. It did not drag. It did have a beginning, middle, and end, and it did fit with the story-by-story narrative. And this was an issue that overall I feel existed with the first season that in a way we can appreciate. The first season, the Still Lady arc, we had a lot of dialogue, a lot of things happening, and it lasted the whole season. And by the end, it just felt like we were completely burning and tapping out. Here, obviously, this was just a brief breakaway from what has been a relatively great and strong story so far this season, and I think it was fine for what it was meant for. And hopefully, we're now going to get back to more intense stuff. And particularly, I'd like us to go ahead, since Yuki Onna and them is not going to continue, and get back to the Rika aspect of this story and basically what her next moves are going to be. So that's my initial thoughts, though. I'm going to, of course, when I end this video, I'll go and see what the community felt and like Reddit and everything. But please let me know what you guys thought in the comments. I hope you guys did enjoy the reaction. If you did like the reaction, please consider liking the video and subscribing to the channel. And if you want to be one of the first to be notified when a new reaction becomes available, hit the bell icon. So I am caught up with that done. In Spectre, and I hopefully will be seeing you guys on Sunday as regular. My hope and desire is that I will be caught up with all reactions by Monday or Tuesday at the absolute latest. And with this, I think there's only one more doubleheader I have, and then I'll be completely done with doubleheaders, and then I'll just be continuing reaction by reaction. Also, for those who are watching my Nier Automata version 1.1a reactions, I did get great news while I was in Japan, and most of you have already seen the episode. Nier is back. The first episode back, episode 4 of Nier Automata, did come back out last Saturday, or this past Saturday. I have not, of course, had a chance to react to it yet, but I will be reacting to it within the coming day or two, and you can look forward to that reaction being up on my page. So that's all I got for you today. I'll go ahead and get this edited and up, and until the next episode reaction of Spectre, catch you later.